Go.
Right, so we've done the whole of the wall and we're down to the last piece now, but it's not a full width. So what we've got to do is we've got to cut some off again on the board. But what you've got to do with walls that are a little bit uneven is measure them at quite a few points. And that's because they might be a certain width here, but they might have gone out and been a bit bigger there because the wall might bow. So I'm going to start here at the top, and I've got 375, just a bit lower down. I've gone to 377, 378, 375, 375, 375 and 372. So you can see that that wall is quite uneven. So my largest one was about 378. So because I want to trim down that corner anyway, I'm going to make the piece 380. I'm going to take it up to 380, and then I know that it's going to sit in the corner and I'm going to be able to trim it exact to the shape of the corner. So we do that on the board. Always when you come to the board, visualise which way up your paper's going to go, which end you're matching to. So I'm matching this side to my original piece because I'm working from right to left. So just the same as we've done before, on the board I'm going to go 380. So pencil, because we're going to trim it off again. Don't worry that you're using a pencil because I've left a little bit on for trimming. So I'm clamping that against the ruler. As I say, I'm not going to look at it. I'm just going down the board, making sure the board is parallel with the wallpaper. So double check, get it perfect. Better off spending time getting it perfect than wasting a piece of paper. So that's my piece now, and with any luck that will just fall down and sit in there nicely with a tiny little bit to trim off. I'm going right on the line this time because I know I've left a couple of mil spare. Like that. And then do it the right way up. Pencil. Yes. I've got all my tools. You know, I don't even need the steps for this bit. It's quite low. So I'm going to get my wastage and my hands. Up, see, flower to flower. Take off rather than stretch. You can slide it, but you're better off taking off in that bit. And as you can see here, there's minimal going around the corner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my paper on perfectly. See, I've got a tiny bit going all the way around the corner, so I can trim to the shape. Absolutely perfect sizing. Must have planned that. There, so the piece is on. Obviously now I'm going to have to get my hair out. I've noticed when people hang in paper, they get a little too sort of conscious of the placement, the size, the pattern, the joint, and they actually sometimes forget to actually wipe the air out. If you don't wipe the air out, you're going to see bubbles. Okay, so make sure that air comes out. It's going to spoil the look of your paper. Like that. And I'm just going to, because I'm going to do a long piece, I'm just going to snap a new blade. And I do it like that. I prefer to put my board on the top swing these round. That on there. And now I'm going to start with trimming. So I can trim the top first, against the ceiling. You can always tell when you've got a new blade in, it cuts really well. Like that. And then I'm going to start going down the side, but I don't want to go tight into the corner. If I go tight in the corner, because this wall's being papered, what I might get is a gap again. So what I want to do is put my board on the side, and I just want to trim off the excess that comes past the board when it's on its side. So you're going with the thickness of the board. So the bit I'm taking off is minimal. Okay. I just cut that piece. Sometimes you need to revert back to your shears if it's in an awkward place. Just that. Like that. So I've hardly got any to take off really, because I don't want to come too short away from that corner. I'll be taking the tiniest piece off. And I'm just going with the contour of the corner. I'll take them two bits off in a minute. So I'm just looking for the pieces that come slightly over on the corner. A little bit there. So that's just the backing. I'll take that off in a minute. Just checking all the way down. In there. Once you've tucked it in the corner, sometimes it's minimal, the bit that you need to take off. Absolutely minimal. Actually, I'm going to leave that bit on. So this bit here, if you notice this bit at the bottom, it's about nearly 5mm around the corner. So on this bit, obviously you've got to take a little bit more off. Obviously I'm using the blade on the side, I'm not going right to the corner because I don't want a gap. And it's not going, so I'm going to use my shears. The reason we use a board and a knife is because it gets it more accurate quicker. You can get it just as accurate with your shears. Let's come off there. But sometimes I'm just like, that's a bit easier. And knife and board is perfect for using with a vinyl paper, something quite tough and hard wearing. There. Perfect. And then just that little bit at the bottom. And then I'll do my joint, make sure I've seam rolled it, cleaned all the paste off, and that is the finished part. And that is how you paper centralise a wall. Like you could do that on a chimney breast, go around a corner obviously with a pattern, and then finish on a papered or a painted wall. So that's the end of the demos for hanging straight match papers.